My bias this morning, just off of quick look of the chart, is pretty green.
Order rejected.
One minute left on this 5-minute candle. Did get a little bit of a breakout here.
Order filled.
Might be a reversal on the 5 at least.
Good morning, Jesse.
Morning, sir.
Order filled.
All right, I am thinking about going short. Outside bar up would be pretty cool here, though.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
I do like that failed 2-2. I like this long now. The short would have been counter trend, obviously, but would have been for a retrace. Long is obviously where we're at all-time highs. So minute 20 left on this 5-minute candle. Finger on the trigger to go long. Failed 2 down on the 5. Kind of playing early there. All right, giving along a shot, 57. Stops would be hold under 38. Like to see this tiny little break of structure be broken again. Ezra asked, can you explain failed 2 a little more? Failed 2 is a 2 down that ends green or a 2 up that ends red. Basically, it's for me, it's seen as a volatility candle, a candle that sweeps liquidity. And I'm looking at it in that manner. There's 20-point trim. Oof. Not enjoying that. I am all out MQ. That looks like a liquidity sweep to me. Tone Siaga said, "You think news will play a factor?" There's no news today. It's already come out at 8:30. Definitely flipping my bias to short though. Failed 2 on the 15 here. Definitely looking short.
Might want to switch to CO. Looks long.
Yeah, outside on the 5. Yes, looks not so short. All right, I grabbed some shorts here, 39.75. $10 hold would be my stop out. $20 trim hit. Let's go. What a morning so far. I'd like to see this flush. More of that retrace garbage. Does the trading and consolidation at VWAP give you pause to see where it's going? I assume you mean the 5 minute here, or maybe the VWAP here going short. VWAP's always going to have a little bit of weight to it for me. Mostly because I don't, to be frank, I don't know the ins and outs of why VWAP works, but I know that price reacts to it pretty on a somewhat frequent basis. And so I'm looking at VWAP for if we break through or retest. I'm not necessarily looking at it for volatility indicator. That's what I use the 14 EMA for. Minute left on this 5-minute candle. 15 did go failed 2 and then 2 down. There's the next leg down. Ooh. Man, Qs are at over $400. See, ES is not broken lower. Microsoft is a short. It's really the only one that looks super short to me right now. Grabbing Q puts 404 at 0.71. Like I said, the only other blue chip that looks short is Microsoft. So I'll grab the 365 puts there, just in case this is a bloody day. 1.02.
What about Meta?
Meta's a failed 2 down right now.
Okay.
So I'd like to see probably a better 5-minute setup than that. Another failed on the 5. Probably going to get out of NQ here if it goes 2 up on the 1 and the 5 subsequently. Gonna give it a second to see if it wants to bounce off this fair value gap, but if it goes much deeper than that, then I'm gonna get out. There's a good size order sitting at 30, 16,830. It's growing. 42 lots right now. That would probably be my line in the sand, I would think. Another big one sitting at 36, 70 lots right now. I want to give this room to breathe, but I don't want to be part of a full retrace. Yeah, they're piling orders on the above us. Two minutes on this 5-minute candle. Oh, and 15. Time flies when you're having fun. Just going to let this stop me out of break even. I just see so many orders here, which might just be me pulling away from my original trade plan. But all right, I got stopped out anyway. Would have saved about 10 points, but that's all right. All out NQ. Oh, look at that. Lots of these. Look at Tesla, Amazon, AMD, Apple, all green. Why does that not look spelled correctly? All right. Yeah, I'm still in the queues. Those only saw drawdown at about 15% crystal. So still in the queues, and especially after that dump, those are back to break even, and Apple or Microsoft's back to break even, breaking low day right now. Meta, there you are, Jason. 2-1-2 down. $325 puts us at a pretty good price. I think I'm going to grab those. And SPY puts. No, I'm not out of queue, Mickey. I don't know if it's just delayed, but I answer that with Crystal. Still in. Those are up 8% now. Now they're not. Broke that low day, man. 0.91 trim on Qs and 0.60 on SPY. This is where having both options and futures is nice, but I do wish I grabbed that on futures. That would have been 5R. And those meta puts are up 17% now. 0.95 trim. So there is some fair value gaps here. Definitely something to watch as we are starting to go higher. Pretty much fair value gaps each step along the way. We have support on the DOM at 12.75. So if it goes over that, they just pulled their order. Starting to grow more. Now it's at 15. So want to see it below that. I like the outside bar there on the 1. I'd be okay with an inside bar set up here on the 5. Obviously, a 2 down and just continue to flush would be ideal, but if it needs some breathing room, it's sitting right below 16,800. So might need a little bit of a momentum buildup, and that's essentially what a inside bar is. Meta up 25%, 1.04 trim. Seeing if Microsoft's going to follow suit. That's the only one I'm in drawdown for. Now it's at break even. SPY is going back to break even. Now it's at break even. Gonna close SPY. Meta taking another leg down. Mario asked, have you always tested fixed value stops, or have you used stops at the top of previous bars before? Not sure if 5 minute or 15-minute might be too much risk if using previous bar high lows as a stop instead of fixed amount. So yeah, what you mean by fixed amount is I usually do 10 points or 20 points. 15 points, like let's say I took this 2-2, right? And then your proper stop loss is 47.25 points on a 15-minute chart. And you would have not even hit 1R yet in that case. So I've thought about it. I just have found my bread and butter being 10 or 20. 20 is better. Obviously when I can do a 10-point stop, that's optimal because then I'm able to risk a little bit more. And honestly, if price goes 20 points against you, then it's probably going to be hitting your stop no matter what. Think about more times than not, that's probably going to be the case. So, yeah, hope that helps. Look at coin go. Microsoft is starting to curl back down. All right, inside bar here, we have a fair value gap sitting above. Get that off so I don't think I'm in a trade. Gonna hop out of Qs. Actually gonna hop out of everything. Meta's at, or Microsoft's at break even. Let me look at it before I get out. Microsoft's actually looks good again. I think I might have squeezed Meta for all it's worth. So I'm going to hop out of Meta. And I'll just watch Microsoft here. If it doesn't flush, it's sitting at 2.9% profit. So if it doesn't flush, then I'll be getting out. Mario said, yeah, it seems like if it gets to 15 or so, it's definitely going. Not sure if there's a true magic number, but just wondering, true strat is the highs and lows of previous bars. Correct. Yes, that is correct. Like looking at stocks for swings. Yep, that is correct. And it's easier on options because just how the deltas work out, you're probably going to be down 30 or 40%, 25 to 40%. If it goes that far against you, especially on a daily chart. All right, I'm getting out of Microsoft. So it's a little easier on that front, but on futures, it's just too wide, man. I mean, that's one mini in almost $1,000 of profit or gain on that 15-minute play we looked at earlier. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Too much risk on a futures contract. Yeah, and like I said, it does work for options pretty well because at least for me, my average stops are like 25 to 40%, but I trim at half R. I trim at 10% if it needs to be trimmed there, like if we're rejecting. So I trim more aggressively on options because of that, but the delta ramp up is better than when price goes against you. That delta ramp up will get you a 40% play at 1R versus so it's like 1.5 R if it hits your 1R multiplier. There's Microsoft again. Oh, it's tempting me. I'm getting in 1.07. Microsoft 365 puts. Look at Apple there too. Trimming 1.20 on Microsoft. Ooh, NQ. Ooh, NQ. Trim in profit or trim in drawdown when you said you trim at 10%? No, it's 10% profit. I don't know if I have ever trimmed in drawdown. All right, taking a short here, 92.25 on NQ. Might be taking this early, a little bit of profit at 10%. Nino Peso said, anyone explain me trading? That is a loaded question. But you can start watching YouTube videos on my channel. But that is a very loaded question. How long have you been trading full time? It'll be 2 years in January. Grabbing Q puts 404s at 0.87. Oh, you said how long you've been trading? I started really learning during the GameStop pump and dumps. So that was what, 2021. But that year I was able to dedicate, probably, I don't know, 5 to 10 hours a day just learning. So I always tell people, it's not about how long you've been in the markets. It's about how much time you can put into it. So, there's people who've been trading for 6 months who are probably better than some people who have been trading for 4 years, because those people who've been trading for 6 months have used all 6 months and stared at charts, and people who've been trading for 4 years might have been, part-time looking at it. So it's not always, you don't have to have been trading for a certain amount of time to be profitable. So, do you use your own money or prop firm? I do both. Futures, I use prop firm. Options, obviously, I use my own money until there's an option or a good options prop firm. Looking like a stop out here. Yeah. Yeah, that fee, what was it? Like $750 a month? And and then your drawdown's like $2,000. So you have to like double the account to even make a couple $100. So that one didn't look, it looked good to start. But yeah. Yeah, I wish there were more options prop firms. I'd go in on those. All right, stopped out of those. And out of Qs at 0.70. Microsoft still in profit. Two reversal. There have been so many failed this morning. Since 9:30, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so far 9 failed on the 5-minute. Crazy. Prop firm can trade option. I don't know of any. If you do, I'd love to hear it. Yeah. I am going short 91. Looks like an outside bar. Yeah, that's the piece with a lot of these more traditional prop firms is they'll want you to get your license, which makes sense, but not interested. I can just trade my own money. Yeah, there's outside bar on the 5 on NQ. Grabbing the 402s at 0.29. Q puts. Taking a trim here, 10 points. Well, actually, about 15 points on NQ. Let's see what I get. 1.37 trim on Microsoft. 15 points on NQ. These might be too far out of the money. I'm going to close Qs at break even. I think they might be too far out of the money. Oh, and then they're up 20% as soon as I sell. That is just how it goes. Let's see what spy I can short. Give Qs a break. There's 20 points on NQ. Good morning so far. Grabbing SPY puts 470.32. Looking for this 5-minute outside bar to go 2 down after. Deontay said, sorry if you answered. How many cons do you trade on options? It's all dependent on the account size. I don't ever risk more than a certain percentage of the account. And if it's my risky account, I don't ever risk more than 10% per trade. If it's my bigger long-term account, I don't ever risk more than 2.5%. So the contracts obviously will fluctuate. If I'm buying a 40-cent contract on my risky account, it's going to be different than a $2 contract on my swing account. So just all depends. It's not a, I don't buy 10 or 50 contracts per play, no matter what, because then my risk wouldn't be the same. And you gotta have consistent risk. If you don't, you're asking for trouble. That Nick, that oil did go long for about 20 points or 20 cents. All right, out of NQ. And out of SPY to 0.22 and Microsoft. Actually, SPY looks like it's curling. Give me a second. Still in SPY for now. That was a fat failed 2 there. And Microsoft's still in profit. So still in those. Was going to close those with NQ, but oh, and look at NQ. You can't make that up. That is disgusting. Well, looks like another short opportunity. All right, I'll get out of SPY if this goes 2 up on the 5. All right, closing Microsoft. Look at Meta. Meta took another nosedive. Kind of choppy here at this low of day. Taking an average on SPY. New average is at 0.28. It's 5 minutes just chopping. I shouldn't be in 20% drawdown with where price is at. So I think I'm getting this at a discount. Looking NQ short. All right, I am short 70.50 NQ. Back to break even on SPY. I want to see this next leg down. That is not the 1 minute candle I was looking for there. All right, stopped out of NQ, out of SPY at 20. All right, I'm going to shut it down after those two losses and take my green day and run. Let me get caught up on the recaps because I didn't do yesterday's. Good to see that everyone was here this morning, meaning nobody made any long-term bad decisions yesterday on the old NQ. Did I really only get one trade out? No, I got two, but one was break even. And this morning, NQ long, 2020. NQ short, 1020. Man, so many trades this week. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 break evens and 21 trades that either hit take profit or stop loss. So 25 trades on NQ. That is way more than normal. I don't think I grabbed any options yesterday. Nope. So let me get caught up on options here. Good. I thought it was just me. Maybe no trading on FOMC week altogether. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that every it seems like every month or at least every year I find new rules for me to avoid certain trading scenarios. And that's why I'm taking off the week of Christmas at least. Still undecided if we chop on got break even on Microsoft. If we chop tomorrow or next week at all, then I'm just taking the rest of the week off. I'm not even going to entertain a choppy week. All right, caught up there. Mario said, "Is there not a lot of activity on the last week? Are institutions rebalancing before end of year or something? I don't know, but was wondering if you did to write before end of year. Maybe you mean if I traded right before end of year. But let's go look at this so that you can see what I see. So we'll go to December 2022 on the daily chart. any good trends, usually leading up to Christmas, which is what we're in right now. So let's go here. So we'll do open and close. So avoiding the wicks. So here is the week of Christmas here. So no trend being created. Even after the 15th, there was no new trend. We just rebalanced and then stayed, and then after the new year, then we got a new trend. Here is last week of December here. Had a couple good days leading up to it, but this little period here was gross as well. Here is the next one. Where am I? Here. So this is what I remember, and this is why I'll probably take 2 weeks off next year, and I'm giving it a tight leash this year, because if this is what I see, let me zoom in here. Like, pretty much dojis, all like the whole 3 inside bars back to back, a 58-point day from the open to the close, a 10-point day, a 43-point day. You know what I'm saying? So, and then here's literally a doji on the daily candle after Christmas. But yeah, this is the week before Christmas. Pump up after Christmas. This was a good day to trade if you traded that. Horrible day. All the way pretty much. And then once the new year started, then we got some volatility. Then let's go here. So here, this is the Santa rally. 19 wasn't a bad year. 18 was. 18 had another, the day after Christmas was pretty volatile. Then the week was gross. So just so you guys can see what I'm seeing, it's just not worth the risk. Plus the volume's much lower that week compared to others. Like here, look. Here's December 2019, week of Christmas. 79,000 volume. The week after, over double that. So you get half the volume. And here's another one, 1.3 million, and then 2.8. So it's just better to look forward to the next week. 2.07 million, and then followed by 2.8. So, yep. Alrighty. That is going to shut it down for me today. Pretty decent day. Caught 2 20-pointers and a loss or two. But net green overall between scalps and day trades. So if you're going to keep trading, use stop losses. Don't blow your account in one trade. This day does not look trendy yet. So I don't know. It didn't feel like it was that bad, but the chart's kind of gross. Definitely not very attractive here. Wow, I grabbed 40 points out of 75. That's pretty decent. Alrighty. Well, like I said, if you're going to keep trading, use stop losses. Don't blow your account in one trade. That's silly. And I'll see you all here on Monday. Have a great weekend. If you need me, reach out and chat, and I'll see you all here Monday. Have a good weekend, everyone.